If you know me at all, you know that I love the ocean. Proximity to salt water is the biggest reason I live where I do instead of Nashville or back in Arkansas. In fact, Abby and I plan to make the move to coastal Mississippi from New Orleans. Well, as soon as I can figure out how to make a proper living out of my music and ramblings, or submit and go back to doing what most would consider real work. It's not just the sea that I've fallen in love with down here, but just as much the people and culture that are so unique to this little stretch of shore we call the Gulf. These places were built by watermen, a tough breed of immigrants that made their lives and fed their families from what they could harvest from these waters. This culture and way of life is still present down here, but it's disappearing rapidly. As we all know, everything is more expensive nowadays. Fuel, boats, hell, just living anymore. But not shrimp. I guarantee you can go to your local grocery outlet any day of the week and get you a pound of shrimp, peeled and deveined, fresh frozen from Vietnam, for less than a pound of ground beef. Sure, to us that know this is tasteless, rubbery bugs with uncertain origins. But to most people, it's just fine. In our quest for cheap eats, we support the deregulation of multinational corporations, mainly China, with huge mechanized ocean-raping ships, while this final generation of watermen are overregulated and honestly underappreciated. Not all of the vanishing of this culture is from doom and gloom. These hard-working, salt-of-the-earth people, of course, wanted an easier life for their children. So they did the impossible. They worked these waters hard enough to send their children to college. There's still a few small boat watermen around here, and that's where I get my shrimp and crab and oysters. I'm happy to pay whatever they're asking, which is always still too cheap, to get the best seafood in the world. That's not up for argument. These rough around the edges, sun-baked, white boot-wearing great-grandchildren of the immigrants that settled these marshes are our culture bearers. And to me, just as important as any museum or fine piece of art. They also possess a greater knowledge of this ecosystem than any college-educated scientist. Regardless, it feels like this might be the last generation to inhabit this place and culture. I'm starting to feel the same way about music. We musicians get a bad rap for being lazy, listless daydreamers that are allergic to real work, and although that might be true, I will argue that we are also culture bearers. And just like the shrimpers being displaced by mechanized ships, we're being replaced with technology. With a few simple prompts on an AI platform, anyone can have a song created. For free, I guess. Hell, I think you can even get Waylon Jennings to sing it for you. Over 100,000 songs a day are uploaded to streaming platforms. Most of these are the sonic equivalent of Vietnamese shrimp, tasteless, rubbery songs of a Suno origin. And obviously, to most people, this is just fine. As long as it's free, it doesn't have to be good, right? Well, let me ask you something, Mr. and Mrs. Consumer. How important is your culture, your history, your traditions? Are they worth saving? I don't have the answers. I am just a lowly songwriter, and it's my job to report on the human condition. I do know this. After eating fresh caught Gulf shrimp right off the boat, I can no longer even stand the thought, much less the taste, of Vietnamese shrimp. And being a lifelong fan of the only two types of music in the world, country and western, I cannot stomach any of this bland attempt to replace myself. So maybe I do have the answer. Maybe people just don't know what they're missing. So if you're one of those people that's okay with Vietnamese shrimp and AI music, please accept my invitation to the Gulf Coast. Come sit on the beach, eat some real American shrimp, and listen to some real American music. Oh, and maybe buy something or throw a little something in the tip bucket. Because without you, this all ends. And that's fine. Life goes on. There's enough foreign shrimp to feed us all. And I have enough skills to go back to real work. Maybe I can just turn this music thing over to the AI Caleb King. With all the money I'm making off of Spotify, I sure hope he doesn't mind eating Vietnamese shrimp. He dances in the spotlight to the song of the seagulls and the strong smell of diesel exhaust. His hands play a dance that his father before him passed down, not knowing the cost. It's not so hard as it's lonesome, but in the Gulf he sees God, and on him that's something not lost. From the beach here at midnight, it's a sight worth the seeing, the last of the lone shrimper's waltz. It's a common misnomer for the eloquent of speaking to think the worst of a strong southern drawl. And the white boots and stained hands and present company keeping might mistakenly seem to flaw. But the depth of his knowing wouldn't draft in the bay here, and the redfish, they come to his call. From the beach here at midnight, it's a sight worth the seeing, the last of the lone shrimper's waltz. Not so hard as it's lonesome, but in the Gulf he sees God, and on him that's something not lost. From the beach here at midnight, it's a sight worth the seeing, the last of the lone shrimper's waltz. The last of the lone shrimper's waltz.